question 14, we have this graph showing the relationship between the distance wind blows over a body of water and the height of a wave. And obviously you can see the longer the wind blows, the bigger the waves are going to get. What's interesting is this question is really not about that graph necessarily. Mostly it's about identifying locations in New York and understanding what a west wind, which west wind would, or what a location would be affected by a west wind. And so this is really a reference table question, finding these places and understanding which ones are going to get affected by the wind being on a large body of water. So I'm going to go to your reference table, and specifically page 3 has locations in New York State. So the four locations were Jamestown, which is right here, Oswego, Plattsburgh, and Riverhead, which is on Long Island. So let's start with Jamestown. Is a west wind going to affect it? First off, recognize that a west wind is blowing from the west to the east, so coming across this direction. Now here's a little lake here, obviously not a very large body of water, so the wind's not going to blow over that very long. Yes, that'll have some waves that are generated, but they're going to be tiny little waves because that's a tiny little lake. So I'm going to eliminate Jamestown as an option, so cross that one out. Let's see, what's the next choice? Well, we got Oswego. Here's Oswego right here. Okay, it's on Lake Ontario. West wind would come across Lake Ontario all the way across that very large lake, and definitely would affect Oswego. So that's probably the right answer. Let's just go through the other choices. Plattsburgh up here. Lake Champlain is next to Plattsburgh, and obviously west wind is not going to affect Lake Champlain. It's going to blow the opposite way across the lake on the other side of Plattsburgh into Vermont over here. So that would not be a choice. Let's take a look at Riverhead. Well, Riverhead's here. Riverhead, the west wind would come across this way, maybe a little bit of Long Island Sound, but it's not really on the water of Long Island Sound. It's in this little bay over here. More of an east wind perhaps would affect that, but not very much. So I'm going to go with Oswego being the correct answer there, just because it's right on Lake Ontario, and therefore it's going to get affected by the waves of Lake Ontario the most. So that's the answer.